So hello guys, welcome to yet another video of Life Coach. My name is Gurpreet Singh, and in this video we will know about stress and how to manage stress in your life. So when you hear the word stress, what do you suddenly feel? Do you feel pressure? Do you feel burden? Do you feel something which you fear of? Do you feel something you want to run away from? So if I were to define stress in very simple terms, I will say that stress is very important to you. So as strange as this sounds, stress is actually useful to you. So I'll explain you by a very simple example of a guitar. If you play a musical instrument, if you play a guitar, so there are strings on the guitar. So you need to tighten the strings in order to play beautiful music which is appealing to your ears. If you tighten the string too much, the string will break, and if you tighten the string too loose, it will never sound too great. So whenever there is an incident in your life, there is a reaction to that incident which we can call as stress. The stress can be seen in your behavior, it can be seen in your body, it can be seen into your mental state or your psychological state. So whenever situations arise in our life, our body prepares itself. It prepares itself to fight with the problem or to run away from the problem. So just imagine a scenario when you were a small kid and you were to face someone who is coming to bully you, and then you feel this threat and you want to either fight that person or you want to run away from that person. The same thing happens in our everyday life. Whenever we feel any situation, whether it's a physical stress, emotional stress, we either face that threat or we want to run away from that threat. So this is a survival mechanism from the body which is called as a fight or flight response. So if we categorize stress into two forms, there are two forms of stress. One is eustress and one is distress. So one is the positive stress and other is the negative stress. So now you will ask, how can stress be positive to you? So suppose you are going for an examination, you are going to run a race, and there is an adrenaline rush inside you. You feel stressed, but then you even perform in that stress. So suppose there was no stress, there was no challenge at all, you would either not perform at all. When this challenge gets too much for you to handle, so then this we can term as distress, which is the bad stress and which can have severe effects on your body, your mind, your psychology, and even your physical actions. So one example of stress we can take that when you are writing an exam, that time certain people, when they feel stressful, when they think the time is about to end, their speed increases. So this is the positive effect of stress. And there are some people who get sweaty hands. So this is the negative effect of stress. So there are different people who act differently in the same condition. So that is why we need stress management. So there are a lot of things which can make life stressful for you. We will study some of these things right now. So one is, if things in your workplace are not going good, it can add to your stress. If things in your classes or your college are not going good, it can add to your stress. If you are not studying properly, you are not getting the desired marks, you are not getting your targets or goals accomplished, then also you can have stress in your life. If your relationship with your partner is not good, it can add to stress. If your relationship with your family and your friends is not good, it can lead to stress. If there is trauma in life, you have recently lost someone who is close to you, then also you can face stress. Your physical appearance or your self-esteem and self-confidence can also lead to stress in you. If you're about to get married very soon, then this could add to additional stress in your life. So there are a lot of things which can add stress in your life. That is why we require stress management. So there are two major reasons because of which you feel acute stress in your life. One is the situation is actually stressful, it is actually challenging, and it is very difficult for you to achieve the targets. This is one condition. And second is you perceive it to be very difficult. So most of the time, 90% of the time, the situation is very much solvable, but it is you who decides that yes, I can't do this. That is why it adds to additional stress in your life. So now stress also comes with wide variety of physical signs, emotional signs, behavioral signs. We also need to know these signs so that we can identify them and get it treated as soon as possible. So the physical symptoms of stress are like, you can feel headaches, you can have indigestion, you can have stomach aches, you can have sweaty palms, you can have cold hands, feet, dizziness, easily fatigued, muscle tension, you can have back pains, tight neck, racing heart, shallow breathing, restlessness, ringing in the ears, constipation, and diarrhea. There are also behavioral symptoms of stress we can also call as negative cope-up mechanisms. It could be excess smoking, bossiness, eating too little or too much, critical attitude of others, short-tempered, procrastination, sleeping too much or too little, driving too fast, grinding of teeth, overuse of alcohol, inability to finish tasks, nail biting. So now there are certain emotional aspects of stress which can be bordered by unimportant things: nervousness, boredom, edginess, irritable, feeling burned out, feeling powerless, crying easily, overwhelming pressure, anger, loneliness, unhappiness, moodiness, and feeling helpless. There are also certain cognitive symptoms of stress which can include trouble thinking clearly, difficulty with concentration, focus, forgetfulness, lack of creativity, expecting too much from others, inability to make decisions, constant worry, loss of humor, being self-critical, and being negative. So stress, if it is not taken care of in the initial stages, can also lead to depression, which can have symptoms like withdrawal from other people, thoughts of suicide, feeling sad and hopeless, lack of energy, enthusiasm, trouble making decisions, being restless, agitated, irritable, feeling bad about yourself, and feeling guilty. When people feel a lot of stress in their life, they want to treat themselves on their own. They try to Google it out. They try to have certain cope-up mechanisms which are called faulty cope-up mechanisms, and these cope-up mechanisms, for the very time being, for a temporary period of time, makes them feel that they have gone rid of this stress. In reality, this could give rise to a lot of more problems in addition to the stress you are already having. So friends, in any case, avoid these negative cope-up mechanisms, which could be using more of caffeine to stay alert, using smoking, alcohol, and other addictions, temporarily relationships with people in order to overcome past relationships. It could be sexual gratification, being angry on others, frustrated, trying self-harm, harming others, or overeating. So what is wrong with these cope-up mechanisms is that they create a re-loop and then you become dependent on them. So there are certain suggestions which I can give you to reduce the stress in your life. Starting with, you need to have a support system. You need to have someone who is close to you. It can be your sibling, it could be your parents, it could be your partner, it could be your close friends, where you can talk out whatever you feel by the end of the day, where you can discuss your issues, your emotions with that person, and then get a viable solution from them. So secondly, if you have issues finding such a person, such a trustable support system, then you need to get help of a professional. You can either visit a psychologist, a life coach, a counselor, a psychiatrist, someone whom you can trust and share your issues with him. So you also need to change your attitude towards stressful situations. This is very much possible. So counseling and life coaching sessions which can enable you, empower you to cope up stress on your own. You also need to be realistic in life. Whenever you set goals for yourself, be sure the goals are achievable, the targets are achievable, and do not be very much harsh on yourself. One more suggestion to get rid of stress or to avoid stress is to get organized. Organize your times, your tasks, your daily routine, so that you don't have to have frustration in your life. And friends, you also need to take care of your own self, your body and your mind. For your mind, you can try meditation. For your body, try regular exercising, a healthy diet which will enable you to take care of your stress. Learning to say no also helps a lot in order to avoid stress, because most of the time we take up commitments which we do not want to do, and because of being connected to the person emotionally, we cannot say no to them. If you learn to say no, if you learn to prioritize your stuff in your life, you can easily avoid stress. So when your stress rises in your body, in your mind, the level of cortisol hormone, which is the stress hormone, is also increasing, which can also lead to fatigue. It can lead to weight gain. If you exercise regularly, you can keep away the cortisol levels and then also gradually your stress. And friends, hobbies are a great stress busters for you. Just remember, when you were a kid, what is the activity which you love to do? What is the activity which you love to do right now? Maybe if you like drawing, painting, you like a hobby like music, you like swimming, you like anything, you like watching movies. Get hold of these activities, these hobbies, and give some time of your day to these hobbies so that they can act as your natural stress relievers. And friends, one great way to relieve stress, to cope up with stress, to keep away from stress will be to join hands and start meditating. And meditating is a great way to calm you from inside, to have more clarity inside you, to connect you to your spiritual side. So yes, meditation can help you in a lot better way to relieve your stress. So friends, these were the cope-up mechanisms of stress. If the stress is coming from a certain root cause, you need to also tackle the root cause. So if you keep on coping up with stress, it will be good for you. You will not be having more stress to deal with. But then, if your core issues are not resolved in your life, if the issues which are leading to the stress are not resolved, then again you will have to do this again and again for a longer time, which can be lot exhaustive. It can be very frustrating also. So then cope up with your core issues. So if your core issues of stress are coming from your career, your marriage issues, your financial issues, your weight gain issues, low confidence, poor health, negativity from outside, then get rid of this by a life coaching session, by a counseling session with a professional. It can help you greatly to handle the root cause of stress and can help you be stress free in the long run. So summarizing this entire video, we'll have some points to discuss. One is try to change the way you appraise a situation to make it less stressful. Remember, stress is normal, but watch out for symptoms of stress. Use coping skills, ways to reduce stress, practice relaxation techniques, regular meditation, regular exercise, good diet, and then solve core issues by discussing with a professional. So friend, this is it for the video, and if you like this video, do comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and keep watching Life Coach.